Welcome to EDU World Space.
All right, in this question, we are given the reaction that A, which is aqueous, reacts to form A minus aqueous and B positive aqueous. And we are told that this reaction is spontaneous. We're told that there's a voltaic cell, and we want to know the half reactions that are occurring at the anode and the half reaction that occurs at the cathode. So again, remember the little mnemonic that vowel equals vowel and consonant equals consonant. So at the cathode, we have reduction, and at the anode, we have oxidation. So if we want to know what is happening at the anode, it must be the oxidation reaction. And remember, oxidation is losing electrons. Therefore, the reaction that is losing electrons would be the A going to B plus reaction. So in this reaction, A is going to B plus 1 electron. That would be my half reaction occurring at the anode. At the cathode, we have reduction, half reaction is occurring. And from above, the reduction half reaction would be that A plus 1 electron yields A minus. So that's our half reaction occurring at the cathode. Question part B asks us which half reaction has the higher potential energy. So if you remember, if you have, here's your anode, and you have your wire connecting it to the cathode, and the anode is where oxidation is occurring. So anode is where that's losing the electrons. So the electrons are going to leave the anode and flow towards the cathode. And it's similar to potential energy of like a rolling ball. If your ball starts at the top of the hill, or let's say it's starting at the middle of the hill. Okay, it's not going to roll up, right? It's not going to go to higher potential energy. It's going to go to lower potential energy. And the same is true here. My electrons are going to flow from higher potential energy to lower potential energy. So that indicates, because this is a spontaneous reaction, this is going to flow from higher to lower. Just like on my hill, the ball will roll spontaneously down. I can force it up by adding energy, but spontaneously it's going to go down. And so since this is a spontaneous reaction, it's going to flow from higher potential energy to lower. It's flowing from the anode. That means the anode must have the higher potential energy. Finally, the question asks in part C, what is the sign of E cell? And you either can remember that E cell is a positive when it's a spontaneous reaction, as this one is, or if you have, remember, we can relate it to Gibbs free energy, which in the equation N equals Fe. And in this equation, remember, Gibbs free energy is negative when our reaction is spontaneous. And so if this reaction is spontaneous and Gibbs free energy needs to be negative, because of this negative here, that means E cell must be positive. So either way, it's a way to remember that E cell is positive during a spontaneous reaction, and since they specifically say this reaction is spontaneous, we know E cell is positive.